Greetings, I'm Rob Chappers, aka the Monkey Lord, and welcome to my Circadian Chronicle. Today is the 7th of Janvier, and we're going to be talking about blues, and in particular, on an electric guitar, we're going to be talking about targeting root notes of chords, basic blues licks, and the concepts for guided lead playing. I'm going to take you to a close-up right now. Let me give you the skinny. This is a D blues, D minor blues. I'm tuned to E flat, key for the people, tune down to E flat, or disregard that, learn this and play it in your own preferred tuning. Here are the chords. I'm just playing standard D blues type stuff. Some of you rock guys, and maybe some of you blues guys are going to think that sounds a bit G-A to the Y. This is kind of old school, but there's a lot you can learn. From learning how to play over this kind of a progression. It's a simple 1-4-5, and what does that mean? It means that you're targeting the first note of each chord, the first chord, the fourth chord, and the fifth chord of the chord progression, of the chord scale. Sorry. So let's take a look at our first chord. We're just looking at roots here to keep this really, really simple for intermediate beginner players looking at playing some lead guitar with some blues and some rock. So this is a D chord. It's got a flat 7 in it here, as in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, but flat. And it's major. It's got a major tonality because this note here is a major third, as in 1, 2, 3. So I'm looking to target the most powerful note in the chord, which is the first note, the root. And using my blues scale in D, here's my root, but it's also here and here. Now I would actually practice this as an exercise. I would go root, fourth, fifth. Whoa, I got an email from my tour manager, fifth. So that's a good exercise to do, just to get used to the octaves, the other places where these notes occur. So I'll do that again. You've got 1, you've got the octave, and you've got the other octave, the super octave. You've got the fourth, it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, so fourth, its octave, and then an octave above that. And then the fifth, like a power chord. Here's the fifth, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So fifth, its octave, and then the other octave. If you're going to go that high on your guitar, if you can. So the majority of those are contained within this area. You can use this area to play this, or we call this position 1 in blues. The scale is really simple. It goes like this. If you know this, fast forward. That's the flat fifth we add in to make it a blues scale, not just a pentatonic scale. Again, this is a flat fifth, we add it into a pentatonic to make it a blues scale. And these notes cover the whole fretboard. I'm just choosing to look through a window and play them here, rather than, for example, here. I'm playing them here. So let's take a look at the first chord. This is my D chord, and therefore my root. So I'm looking at things that land or begin on that note, and if the rhythm's going, then there's an emphasis in the 1 and 2 and. So I'm looking to target that like that. This repetitive playing of the note is a very kind of Peter Green, Eric Clapton type thing. So what I've done is raked the top two notes, played this lovely note here. That's what I call a blues curl or a semi-bend. It's a quarter tone bow. And notice I've killed it to make it like a speech pattern. If you look at singing patterns, a lot of singers use the same note repetitively, something that's not really apparent unless you listen to a lot of singers. And so this lick mimics singing. We're going to go down to this fourth chord, because it starts on the fourth note of our D major scale. You're probably going to think, why am I using a minor scale over chords from a major scale? Well, the thing is that we're using minor thirds, but we're bending them to make them happy. We're not really resting on a minor third. If you were to go, that would sound pretty horrible, but we're giving the feel of major, we're pushing towards the major, that's why it works, we get away with it. So the fourth chord, again we're looking for fourths, so here's a fourth, here's a fourth. Now this one's nice and easy to find for us. We can do something really classic like that would do, or maybe that would be good. Let me think of another one that might be cool. Oh no. No, let's have a think. That's better. So, I've slid in from behind this scale using a dyad, a two-note chord. I'm using my second finger here on the 11-10 9th fret D string. I'm using the B string, 11-10 9 8th fret B string, and then I'm putting my third finger down on the G string, here at the 10th fret G, to slide into my fourth. So I'm giving it the flavour of the fourth. Back a tone, play some notes around here, and then land on it. Now you could really just do that. That would be what Captain Lee would do, if you know Captain Lee. You could also bend into it rather than sliding into it. Or do both, like that. So there's a nice fourth lick. As long as you land on the fourth, then you're all good. So, to the fifth. We're going to go looking for fives. So here's a five. Here's a really easy one for us. Now, I'd be tempted to be doing things like, let's have a think. Something nice and easy. That kind of thing. Just using the top two strings, I'm limiting myself by restricting the number of strings I'm considering using. It always sounds best if you bend into the note though. So if we're going to go from the fourth into the five, it sounds nice to, because that's going into the five. So you could consider something like, and that would really give you the flavour of that fifth as you went into the chord. So why don't I put some of that together for you and give you an idea of how it would work. And what I'm going to show you is something that I've used for a long time that has really given me an edge in developing the ability to write solo and to improvise. And what I'm thinking about is this. We've got a D chord, here's a D string. We've got essentially a G chord, here's a G string. We've got an A chord, here's an A string. So what you can do is this, you can start off with your D chord. So what's next? It's the G. we'll go back to the D. Now we're going to go for the A. So I'm allowing myself to hear the root of each chord by just playing the open string. Because sometimes you get lost, so it's a really great guide. Something that I really encourage, and as you progress and you get better at it, you can just start targeting the fifths, another really strong note. These notes are like magnets, they pull the notes towards them, so the root and the fifth, the seventh and the third are really powerful notes. You want to migrate your playing towards that, so hopefully you can hear it in just the lead playing. So for example, for my brothers thinking, how does this apply to me because I'm a rock guy, dude, I'm not really into blues. Well, check this out, it kind of does apply to you, because if you use a couple of effects, maybe some delay, a bit of reverb, a good amplifier when it becomes available, and ML2 from Chapman guitars, or another guitar that sounds cool like that, then as long as you deepen the vibrato, play it with a different attitude, you get this. So there you have it, friends, minions and compadres and YouTube followers. I love you all, one and each, with a massive monkey hug and a left-handed salute. Take it easy, Chappers out.